Today, I want to tell you another heartbreaking story. Kristen Rossum, born on October 25, 1975, in Tennessee, USA, grew up in California and Virginia as her family frequently moved due to her father's job. She had two siblings, and during her early teens, Kristen attended an all-girls boarding school where she started engaging in behaviors like drinking beer and smoking cigarettes. By the age of 17 in 1992, Kristen was already using methamphetamine. In 1994, she enrolled in a university attempting to break free from prohibited substances use. However, after experiencing a relapse, she dropped out and relocated to San Diego. The course of her life changed in 1995 when she met Gregory de Villers. It appeared that she had overcome her struggles with prohibited substances and was on the path to starting a family. Kristen and Gregory married in 1999 after she graduated with honors from San Diego State University in 1998. She pursued a career as a toxicologist, working in the city's medical examiner's office. Despite early challenges, it seemed that Kristen had successfully turned her life around and was enjoying a positive trajectory. However, not everything ends with a happy ending. On the 6th day of November, in the year 2000, which happened to be a Monday, a 25-year-old woman named Kristen Rossum made a distress call to 911 at 9:22 p.m. from her residence in San Diego, California, situated in the United States. In her call, she reported that her 26-year-old husband, Gregory de Villers, was not breathing and had allegedly taken his own life. The emergency dispatcher advised Kristen to perform CPR, but unfortunately, despite her efforts and the subsequent arrival of paramedics and police, Gregory was pronounced dead. Kristen and Gregory had been married for a relatively short period of 17 months. According to Kristen's account to the police on that evening, Gregory appeared somewhat drowsy, which she attributed to the effects of cold medication. Kristen further explained that she took a bath and upon exiting, she discovered Gregory lying on the bed without signs of breathing. The police found the scene puzzling, as Gregory was located on the bedroom floor amidst his pillow, rose petals, and crumpled diary pages belonging to Kristen were strewn on the floor. Kristen claimed that she moved Gregory to the floor in order to perform CPR. The police drew a comparison to a scene from the movie American Beauty due to the peculiar aspects of the situation. Initially, when the paramedics first arrived, Kristen informed them that her husband Gregory had not taken any drugs. However, later on, she changed her statement and mentioned that he might have ingested oxycodone. Upon their arrival at the hospital, Kristen conveyed to a nurse her suspicion that Gregory could have overdosed on oxycodone. The police, in their investigation, explored the possibility that Gregory's death might have resulted from an accidental overdose involving a combination of cold medicines and oxycodone. In their discussions with Kristen, they learned that Gregory was distressed, indicating that their marriage seemed to be on the rocks. This led Kristen to initially suggest to the police that he had taken his own life, an avenue of inquiry they also pursued. According to Kristen's account, the scattered rose petals surrounding Gregory's body were remnants from a bouquet he had gifted her for her birthday on October 25th. She believed that the use of these petals symbolized the end of their marriage, with one surviving rose being the source. Gregory's family, as well as others on the night his body was discovered, expressed skepticism about the notion of suicide. On November 8th, a significant turn in the investigation occurred when one of Kristen's co-workers, Russ Lowe, contacted the police. He revealed that Kristen was engaged in an extramarital affair with her manager, altering the trajectory of the police inquiry. Kristen and Gregory first crossed paths in 1995, ultimately tying the knot in 1999. Kristen, initially struggling with methamphetamine abuse, turned her life around with Gregory's support and graduated with top honors in biochemistry. She secured a position as a toxicologist at the San Diego County Office of the Medical Examiner in March 2000. Meanwhile, Gregory pursued a career in the biotech industry. Shortly after Kristen commenced her employment at the OM, Michael Robertson, an Australian citizen, assumed the role of forensic laboratory manager, serving as the acting laboratory manager, had a lengthy tenure at the OM. The decision to appoint Michael, instead of Russ, to the permanent position generated tension within the laboratory environment. The atmosphere became even more strained when it became known among employees that Kristen and Michael, both of whom were married, were engaged in an extramarital affair. Concerns arose among some employees about the possibility of preferential treatment for Kristen. In October 2000, a few months after these revelations, Kristen resumed using methamphetamine. Police investigations revealed that on November 2, 2000, just 4 days prior to Gregory's discovery dead, he confronted Kristen about her prohibited substances use and his suspicion of her affair. Gregory insisted that she resigned from the OV and threatened to expose her prohibited substances use and the affair to her employer if she refused. Following Gregory's death, an autopsy was conducted, including toxicology tests. Dr. Blackburn, the medical examiner, determined that Gregory died from acute fentanyl intoxication. Toxicology results indicated extremely elevated levels of fentanyl, along with smaller amounts of clonazepam and trace levels of oxycodone in Gregory's autopsy specimens. When questioned about the source of the fentanyl, Kristen claimed ignorance. However, the police were aware that, due to her role as a toxicologist, Kristen had access to fentanyl. The police theorized that Kristen may have secretly administered the fentanyl to Gregory, leading to his poisoning. They constructed a case based on the medical and toxicological evidence. Subsequently, Kristen was charged with first-degree murder, to which she pleaded not guilty. During the trial, Kristen's parents, Ralph Rossum and Claremont McKenna, went to great lengths to secure her $1.25 million bail by mortgaging their home. However, this financial commitment left them unable to afford a private attorney. Consequently, the court appointed a public defender to represent Kristen. The prosecution asserted that Kristen murdered Gregory because he threatened to expose her prohibited substances use an affair with Michael Robertson to her employer. According to the prosecution, Kristen allegedly poisoned Gregory with fentanyl, a potent synthetic opiate that is 80 times stronger than morphine. Nevertheless, following a subsequent decision by the U.S. Supreme Court, which emphasized federal court deference to state court decisions in such matters, the appeals court panel opted not to order the hearing in Kristen's case. As a result, her appeal was denied, and she remains in prison. Michael Robertson, referred to as a co-conspirator during Kristen's trial, returned to Australia and established a forensics consultancy services firm. What do you think about this story? Share your opinions in the comments. Thanks for watching and for being with us. Take care of yourself and your loved ones.